to say, okay, what fiction? Does he mean Cinderella? Does he mean Goldilocks and the Three Bears? What fiction does he mean? Okay, let's see. Maybe he means this fiction right here. This book is called Donald Goines, White Man Justice, Black Man's Grief. Do you think that's the fiction that he's talking about? No, he's talking about the fiction that's got everybody believing that there is someone outside of yourself that is going to be responsible for the things that you do and has the power to stop you from having to pay consequences for your action. That is the freaking fairy tale myth shit that he's going to be reluctant to tell you. The belief in Jesus Christ as someone who died for your sins. All that shit that he will not say, I just said for you. Same old white supremacy bullshit is what this is. If the Pope is guilty, Jesus' ass is guilty too. Because the Pope is in position because people love Jesus. If there was no love for Jesus, no one would give a right ass about the Pope.
Humanity stands up and says, we will take the responsibility as flesh, blood, conscious organisms to rule our own lives, to be self-determined. Because
he mean Christians did that. Christians are the ones who created a crusade to force everyone into becoming a part of their club. And to reject them to this day means being ostracized and looked down upon and treated like shit. It's still here today, and you didn't hear him say one negative thing about the fact that Christianity and the Pope all ride in the same vehicle. He forgot to mention that. Even down here. They said downfall of the Vatican, the Queen and the system, but they didn't say anything about Catholicism or religion or Jesus, which is all a part of all that dynamic right there. They're trying to overlook that for some reason.
Just not to determine your own path will allow, one day, will allow institutions to creep in again, fictions to creep in again, and take...
Fictions. He didn't say religions. See? He won't say religions because he knows if he say religions, you're going to tie it together as Christianity and Catholicism. So he says friction when he should be saying religion or Christianity.
Take over and have so much control as they have done because we've been sleepy. So
okay, why have we been sleeping? Because we've all been spiritually bondaged, believing in Jesus Christ as everyone's Savior, that he hasn't mentioned throughout this whole ordeal where they're attacking the Vatican, which is based on Christianity and Catholicism. Phony, phony, phony. Smoke screen. Shame on you.
I think the next thing is just going to jolt us, and it will happen in March. If something big definitely is preparing for March, folks, all you need to do is get on the internet, go into an astrological site, and put, say, I don't know, 24th or 25th of March, early April.
And whatever pop up. Okay, good. Plenty of shit gonna pop up all the time. In other words, just throw your hook in the water. Put a worm on your hook and throw it in the water. I'm sure there's fish out there. You have to catch something. Common logic. From nothing comes absolute. We know that. So, what's so about that? You know, I mean, come on.
April, put those dates in all around Aries, and you'll see all of the activity going on in Aries. So all of these planets are going to come to help Uranus in his objective of revolutionizing all of our minds.
Okay, that's what I've been doing. But my name is not Uranus. I told you, my name is Asar. There's no one out here named Uranus talking to people about opening up your consciousness and activating your pineal gland through listening to the sunlight. No one is saying anything like that. Everybody's running around here talking about Jesus. Who the hell is Uranus? Please tell me that. Your ass. And you see him pointing to your pineal gland and everything like I've been saying. But for some reason, no one is saying anything about it. And that's the reason why there's going to be hella tornadoes. Because you motherfuckers is going to stop this bullshit. Know that. They're trying to mislead all you people. I'm going to show you who's got the power. I'm going to send some tornadoes to tear Ohio concentration camp harboring ass up. To show you guys what time it is. And I'm sure the universe is going to leave that concentration camp there for all the non-believers. Your ass going to believe when you end up in there.
Because Uranus is in Aries. Aries is the cerebrum. All of our cerebrums are being activated and you could say awakened because Uranus...
Let me explain to you. You have your hypostyle gland, your pineal gland, and your pituitary gland. These things, they create hormones that adjust your state of consciousness according to how you think and what you drink and what you eat. We've come into a realm of consciousness where if people stop eating meat right now, your body would immediately start repairing itself and regenerating itself. I keep trying to tell people that, and that's why these motherfuckers on this earth keep trying their best to keep pushing you fast food or pushing you circumstances where you can't prepare your own food. So you're running in these restaurants and they're feeding you stuff to shut down your pineal gland and make sure that you can't get activated. So when somebody like me come to speak to you, you got so much bullshit toxins in your body where your cerebrum that he's talking about, meaning the chemistry that your brain is secreting through your body, is not going to be active enough for you to be able to comprehend. So it'll go right over your head and you still stay in lockdown. You still want Jesus. You can't stop smoking. You can't stop drinking. You can't stop eating meat. While everybody around you is being able to do that, but you can't. It's because you're eating in those fast food restaurants and they're feeding you stuff to disturb your cerebellum. And if that's how come people have cerebral palsy, because they do not have any melanin inside of their brain. Now, your cerebral, if you do not try to vibrate on a God knowledge and try to open up these are spiritual reproductive organs inside of your brain. If you do not start meditating and being hesitant at eating dead flesh and stop eating all this processed food that I end up having to eat sometimes too, because they deliberately destroyed everything and gave us genetically altered and tampered with food to shut down what he's saying. Your spiritual reproductive organs inside of your head makes this chemical that he's talking about. If you are lacking this chemical, you could be so fucked up sometimes that your body will not even function properly. So if your body is not functioning properly, it's because you have a mental imbalance. And most mental imbalances that make you have dysfunctional organs and limbs in your body is because of some type of cerebral fluid that you are not producing. So he's right about that. If you do not have your cerebral fluid is not activated where you can receive this knowledge that's coming from the sunlight, it will go right over your head. And the sunlight is going to go into your body and see that you are not fit to live on this earth because you're still locked down in the dogma that made things be contaminated and destroyed the way it is. And you are the person that is going to justify the eradication of yourself by being stuck and eating those bad foods, still following Bishop Blake, still having these carnal lusts that make your ass not be able to hear the Buddha. When all these Buddhas are here speaking to you, you're going to overlook the sunlight, you're going to overlook everything that can help you because you're going to be on a quest for materialism and carnal impressions being answered. And this is why your cerebral fluids are not generating no melanin or no serotonin. I think that's the right word, is it? Okay, at night you make melanin, and I think in the daytime you make serotonin. Wait a minute. I could be wrong. My brain is moving too fast. Is it? What is that? Wow. Okay, I'm not going to waste too much time on
This
that.
is electric, revolutionary, and is having influence on the cerebrum, the high brain, not the cerebellum. So this is the heaven brain. So we are actually going to
A higher
heaven,
consciousness.
the head, as I've explained.
What I call it is the peaking of the Uranus, the peaking of the crowning, the Christing, the developing of the headgear that you see these wise pharaohs wearing right here. The headgear of people who has risen to that consciousness that he's talking about. You can see the sun right there on the goddess of Set. You can see the sun right there on the god of Sar. Right here on the top of the head. You can see it. It's round. Do you see that? Look at it on his little Sun Heru head too. Do you see? All sun stuff, round, round. He ain't said one thing about the sun. See, because they're not sun people. So they don't want you to know that the true God is the sun. So these people are here to deceive you and make you stay in lockdown. But they're going to convince you that I'm the one here doing that. And that's going to get your ass burnt up.
And that will happen in a big way in March. Rest assured. Big action in March, according to the stars.
Okay. Kevin, same question for you. What's next? Kevin, because there's a lot of people that are saying, well, this is great. They're bringing charges in Canada to the Prime Minister. But what about in the United States?
And those people are still in office right over there in Canada right now. Yeah, what about the United States? Let's hear.
Why isn't there anything being done there? Kevin?
Well, actually, a lot is happening in the States. About a quarter of all our citizen jurors came from the U.S. The real question is not what the few of us who are the catalyst now are going to do. The question is what is everybody going to do, along the lines of what Samuels was saying. We're not the substitute for everybody else. We're just the spark. Now, cataclysmic times are coming. They've already started. People have to make choices, and there's a big separation coming between people who live in the old vibration, the old illusion, and those who are going to make this shift and transition. The choice is for each one of us we have to make. But we've given people more than enough evidence. They do not have the defense of ignorance anymore. They know what they're dealing with. They know they're dealing with blood-soaked institutions, genocidal histories. If they continue to be part of that, they'll go down with it. It's that simple. We have to break away, and those who are going to will do that. So it's a sifting out time, and people have got to stop pointing fingers and looking at themselves and saying, what am I going to do to make that shift?
Exactly, but I mean, this is fantastic news because, like you said earlier before, someone had to step up and say, you know what, we're going to dare to challenge the big dogs, because no one is just saying, well, how can you arrest the Queen, or how can you even attempt, these...
They ain't did it. They haven't done a damn thing except blew us a bunch of promises that ain't gonna happen. And look who they are. They just regular Joes. It didn't even come from an official law administering body. These are just two people that was able to come out here and put this together. None of them is policemen. They're just people that come out here and tell you that. There is nothing behind it to substantiate what they're saying. So all this is an attempt to make everybody's brain shift to relax mode. And the reason why they want you to do that is because it's the energy of everybody's brain knowing that these bastards need to be brought up on charges that's going to make the energy necessary for that to actually happen. Them coming out here making you believe that something has been implemented will make your ass relax, and that's what they want. It's for the brain energy to be turned down. Not a good thing to do. Everybody keep focusing on these motherfucking Nazis and these Zionists all dying. That's what you think about, them dying. Don't think about them going to jail. I want everybody on the planet to think about their asses dying. Because if they're dead, you don't have to worry about them going to jail. And we as citizens all over this planet should think about all these people just having heart attacks and dying. And that's what happened to all these Zionists and all these freaking Nazis and all these corrupt motherfuckers that's trying to incarcerate your children in these damn concentration camps and pimp your daughters and make your sons be soldiers or homosexuals and make your daughters be dope fiends and baby making factories so they could mistreat your future grandchildren. That's what it's all about. And we need to wake up and be responsible and don't let people blow smoke up our ass so our children have to be suffering because we were too goddamn gullible to stop all the bullshit that's been happening to us for the last 6,000 years and create a circumstance for our next generation of young kids to grow up to become the god and goddesses that they were put here to become, instead of being victimized by these homosexual white men that's out here trying their best to perpetuate a world based on their asses living really, really good and fucking each other while we all suffer and have to die and be mistreated and turned into nothings that's close to being the god and goddesses that we were destined to be before these bastards got in power.
Guys are way above the law. You can't touch these guys. So you've done something amazing here.
What has he done? Nothing. He hasn't done a damn thing. Itself came out